Subscribe to Study Time RKX1 channels and first of all to watch the study video.
Calvin cycle or C3 cycle. Introduction. It is a cyclic reaction occurring in the dark phase of photosynthesis. In this reaction, CO2 is converted into sugars and hence it is a process of carbon fixation. The Calvin cycle was first observed by Melvin Calvin in chlorella, unicellular green algae. Calvin was awarded Nobel Prize for this work in 1961. Since the first stable compound in Calvin cycle is a 3-carbon compound, 3-phosphoglyceric acid, the cycle is also called as C3 cycle. The reactions of Calvin's cycle occur in 3 phases: carboxylative phase, reductive phase, regenerative phase. Regenerative phase. In the regenerative phase, the ribose diphosphate is regenerated. The regenerative phase is called as pentose phosphate pathway or hexose monophosphate shunt. It involves the following steps. Some of the molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde into dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Both 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone phosphate then unite in the presence of the enzyme aldolase to form fructose 1-6-diphosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate in the presence of phosphorylase. Some of the molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde instead of forming hexose sugars are diverted to regenerate ribulose 1-5-diphosphate. 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde reacts with fructose 6-phosphate in the presence of enzyme transcrystallase to form erythrose 4-phosphate, 4C sugar and xylulose 5-phosphate, 5C sugar. 5. Erythrose 4-phosphate combines with dihydroxyacetone phosphate in the presence of the enzyme aldolase to form pseudoheptulose 1,7-diphosphate, 7C sugar. 6. Pseudoheptulose 1,7-diphosphate loses 1-phosphate group in the presence of the enzyme phosphatase to form pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate. 7. Pseudoheptulose phosphate reacts with 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde in the presence of transcrystallase to form xylulose 5-phosphate and ribose 5-phosphate, both %C sugars. 8. Ribose 5-phosphate is converted into ribulose 1,5-diphosphate in the presence of enzyme phosphopentose kinase and ATP. 2 molecules of xylulose phosphate are also converted into 1 molecule of ribulose monophosphate. The ribulose monophosphate is phosphorylated by ATP to form ribulose diphosphate and ADP, thus completing Calvin cycle. In the dark reaction, CO2 is fixed to carbohydrates and the CO2 except a ribulose diphosphate is regenerated. In Calvin cycle, 12 NADPH2 and 18 ATPs are required to fix 6 CO2 molecules into 1 hexose sugar molecule, fructose 6-phosphate.